If you walk on the Paseo de la Castellana, you will not see a simple football stadium. You will see a spaceship landed right in the city center. 1.2 billion euros later, Real Madrid no longer plays in a stadium. It plays in a monument to the glory of the impossible, where hearts beat in unison. A place that has seen Di Stefano, Zidane, and Cristiano, Vinicius, Mbappé pass through. But before becoming this technological jewel capable of retracting its pitch, this place knew mud, risky bank loans, and wooden stands. The Santiago Bernabéu is not just a stadium, it is the thermometer of Spain. In 1944, did you know that bankers laughed in Santiago Bernabéu's face when he spoke about his project? Today, we are going to dive into the guts of this sacred monster. We will talk about the historical foundations of this stadium. Welcome to the story of the construction and the evolution of the mythical Santiago Bernabéu Stadium, 1924. At the time, Real leaves its old ground of O'Donnell, heading north to Chamartín. We are far from luxury. It is an almost rural area. On May 14, 1924, the inauguration of the old Chamartín takes place in relative euphoria, far from today's splendor. At the time, if you told a supporter that this ground would be worth billions, he would have asked you to share your table wine. Yet, it is here that the foundations are laid. In the period photos of 1931, we see an almost deserted area surrounded by wastelands. But after the Civil War, the stadium is in ruins. It is said that the wooden stands were dismantled by the inhabitants to be used as firewood during the freezing winters of Madrid. In 1943, the pitch looked more like a potato field than a billiard table. That is when the man, the myth, the legend intervenes. Santiago Bernabéu, freshly elected president, refuses fatality. He does not want to repair Chamartín. He wants to bury it, to build a giant. On June 22, 1944, he pulls off a masterstroke by convincing the Mercantile and Industrial Bank. He obtains a massive loan, a decision considered suicidal by many observers of the time. On October 27, 1944, he lays the first stone with an almost religious solemnity. He declares that he wants a stadium worthy of the club's standing, even though the club does not yet have worldwide standing. The architects Manuel Muñoz Monasterio and Luis Alemany Soler are tasked with designing this giant. Monasterio is not a novice. He has already worked on the stadiums of Cádiz and Sevilla FC. The construction is a logistical challenge. The new stadium must rise above the old one. On the 1947 plans, we can see how the red structure of the new stadium literally devours the yellow of the old one. The construction site employs hundreds of workers laboring day and night in rudimentary conditions. Bernabéu goes there almost daily to supervise the progress of the works. He wants to make sure that every invested sum is used wisely. The supporters' expectations are immense because Chamartín has become too small for Madrid's passion. The project is named El Nuevo Chamartín, a temporary name that will remain in memories. December 14, 1947 is a date carved in stone. It is the official inauguration. For the occasion, the club invites the Portuguese side Os Belenenses for a historic friendly match. The score is unquestionable, 5-1 for Real Madrid. At the time, the stadium holds 75,145 seats, a colossal figure for the late 1940s. Only 27,645 seats are seated. Before kickoff, a solemn mass is celebrated on the pitch itself, blessing every corner of the stadium. Santiago Bernabéu receives a book containing the signatures of the club's 200 oldest socios. A moment of pure emotion. Flags of the 14 First Division clubs wave in the wind, symbolizing Madrid's dominance. But barely finished, the stadium is already too small for the club's growing. In 1953, new works begin to meet the exploding ticket demand. The third tier on the Padre Damian side is built, adding dizzying verticality. 2 of the 4 iconic towers are created to facilitate access. and, above all, the evacuation of crowds. In June 1954, the capacity rises to 125,000 seats, turning the stadium into a concrete monster. The stadium then becomes the second largest in Europe, just behind the mythical Wembley. On January 4th, 1955, the Socios make a historic decision. The stadium will now be called Santiago Bernabéu. It is a vibrant tribute to the man who risked everything for this crazy project. But innovation does not stop at the stands. It also touches game technology. On May 18, 1957, Real Madrid inaugurates its electric lighting system to play at night. The match against Sport Club do Recife ends in a 5-3 victory under dazzling floodlights. Playing at night changes everything. In 1965, the club decides to centralize all its administrative offices inside the stadium itself. Previously, the administration had been scattered across the four corners of Madrid, which was a logistical nightmare. The stadium then becomes the administrative and sporting beating heart of the Real Madrid institution. During this period, Real wins its first European Cups, strengthening the mystical aura of the place. Pitch maintenance becomes an absolute priority, even if the techniques of the time are still rudimentary. Ticket revenues finally begin to repay the colossal debts contracted in 1944. Bernabéu's gamble is officially won. The stadium is the engine of sporting success. People already begin to think about the next steps because the modern world is knocking at the door. At the time, if you had a ticket for the Bernabéu, you had more value than a gold bar at the Bank of Spain. The 1970s marked the arrival of visual technology with Spain's first electric scoreboard in 1972. Inaugurated during Paco Gento's farewell, it allows spectators to follow the scores of other matches in real time. But the real earthquake arrives with the 1982 World Cup organized by Spain. FIFA imposes strict standards. The stadium must be modernized from top to bottom for the final. Cutting-edge electronic boards are installed, and the press area is completely in capacity from 125,000 to 90,800 seats for greater comfort. A huge metallic roof is installed, covering 2/3 of the spectators except on the east side. In the 1990s, new UEFA safety regulations ban standing places. On February 7, 1992, a €30 million construction project begins to compensate for this loss of capacity. A third tier is built on the west side, with a record incline of 87%. The view is breathtaking, but the stadium now rises to 45 meters high, creating shadow problems. Frost destroys the pitch in winter because the sun no longer reaches the ground. The solution: 30 kilometers of heated polypropylene pipes installed under the grass at a depth of 20 centimeters. It is a world first for a stadium central heating for grass. In 1997, seats are finally installed everywhere, reducing the capacity to 74,328 places. In 1999, the Real Madrid Museum opens its doors, quickly becoming one of the most visited in Spain. But the arrival of Florentino Pérez in 2000 changes everything to enter the Galacticos era. His master plan aims to transform the stadium into a cash machine. Between 2001 and 2006, €127 million are invested to modernize the east lateral stand. Panoramic elevators and a complete roof are installed. In 2007, UEFA classifies the Bernabéu as a 5-star stadium, the summit of the world hierarchy. In 2011, a few more seats are added to reach 91,044 spectators. The stadium is now a profit center running at full speed, 365 days a year. But for Florentino, it is still not enough. He dreams of a steel armor, a retractable roof, and a disappearing pitch. The project of the Bernabéu of the future. in the history of sports architecture. On April 2nd, 2019, the final project is approved, but nobody imagined the scale of the works to come. The 2020 pandemic paradoxically accelerated the construction because the club was able to work without the public. The centerpiece of this revolution is the hypogym, a technological underground vault 30 meters deep. The pitch is divided into 6 motorized platforms that descend into this giant silo. Inside, the grass receives horticultural LED light, automated irrigation, and constant UV treatment. This allows Real Madrid to transform its field into a smooth concrete surface. In 2025, the stadium hosted its first NFL game, a historic step for the club's global expansion. The retractable roof can close in only 15 minutes, protecting the show from Madrid's rain. The exterior facade is made of thousands of stainless steel slats capable of projecting images. A giant 360-degree screen surrounds the entire inside of the stadium, offering total immersion to the supporters. Technical details: 2026. The final cost of the project exceeded 1.1 billion euros, financed by long-term loans. Expected revenues are 400 million euros per year, solely thanks to stadium operations outside match days. The new immersive museum uses augmented reality to relive the goals of Cristiano Ronaldo or Di Stefano. A panoramic platform called Skywalk allows visitors to walk around the stadium roof with a 360-degree view over Madrid. A huge underground parking lot has been built to ease congestion in the district and facilitate VIP access. The stadium is now an intelligent building managed by artificial intelligence for energy and security. In 2026, the Bernabéu is no longer just a football stadium. It hosts Taylor Swift concerts, tennis matches, and even global technology expos. The final capacity is stabilized at 82,000 seats with the comfort worthy of a 5-star hotel. Florentino Pérez has succeeded in his gamble, disconnecting the club's revenues from simple sporting results. Even if the team loses on the pitch, the stadium earns money every minute of the day. It is Real Madrid's answer to sovereign wealth funds and the new rich of world football. From the Mercantile Bank of 1944 to the investment funds of 2026, the stadium has become a symbol of Spain's economic power and of the Real Madrid brand. Rumors say that future innovations could include holograms of legendary players. The Bernabéu is ahead of its time, just as it was in 1947 and in 1954. Every square centimeter of this shining steel tells a story of resilience and ambition. It is the ultimate legacy of Santiago Bernabéu, brought to its peak by Florentino Pérez. We are reaching the end of this journey through time. From the harsh and crazy dream of a man in debt in 1944 to this spaceship of 2026, the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium proves that at Real Madrid, they do not only build stadiums, they build legends. This monument is no longer only a football arena. It is the beating heart of Madrid's economy and the symbol of an institution that refuses to grow old. But football history does not stop at the doors of the Castellana. Every great club possesses its own temple, its secret garden, and its architectural mysteries. Thank you all for watching. Which stadium should be the next video? Vote here in the comments. See you soon.